I have a challenge for you. How many of you have a smartphone? How many of you have that smartphone on your person right now? I want you to take that phone out and put it on your lap or next to you. Throughout this speech, I want you to pay attention to any time that you feel the urge to pick up your phone, check your notifications, or unlock your screen for any reason. Can you do that for me? Now, like you, I've grown up in a world of technology. I remember as a child when people in my family first started to switch from flip phones and brick phones to the brand new iPhones and Androids. It was an exciting new innovation. Since their introduction, smartphones have continued to become more widespread in their use. According to the Pew Research Center, a staggering 96% of Americans own a smartphone today. Impressive product distribution considering the first iPhones were released only 12 years ago. Now, what started as an advancement in cellular communication has turned into a pocket-sized computer, movie studio, music platform, gaming center with literally thousands of ways to interact with others online. Now, growing up in this changing world, we have all become expert in using this technology, and oftentimes we become immersed in it. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever gotten through your day and felt like you didn't get anything done? Or have you felt overwhelmed with all the things you have to do and wish you had more time in the day? If you have, you're definitely not alone. It's something that I've personally experienced quite a bit, actually. Now, wouldn't you like to know where all of your time was going? I'll give you one guess. Yep, it's your phone. The simple truth of the matter is that we use our phones way too much. Phones have moved from being a helpful tool to stealing our time away from us, and too much screen time can have some very negative effects on our mental health and well-being. Today I'm going to show you why excessive technology use is a serious problem, how this problem likely affects most everyone that you know, including yourself, and some simple steps that we can all take to reclaim our time and improve our mental health. So let's dive into the problem at hand. We use our phones way too much. It's a safe bet that all of us have a phone. We all use it for productive things, and there's a pretty decent chance that we've gotten distracted or lost in our scrolling at one point. Let's face it, it's not that hard to spend a lot of time on your phone. If you have an iPhone, you might have noticed that little notification that pops up once a week with your screen time report. Maybe you're not looking forward to seeing that report. When the COVID-19 pandemic forced us all into quarantine in March, the Washington Post ran a story about how many people who started noticing that little report starting to rise. Now, some reported a 30% rise in time that they spent on their phone. The average adult already averages 3.5 hours on their phones per day, and quarantine caused that number to spike to over 7 hours a day. A CNN reported that teenagers already spend more than 7 hours a day on their phones, and that's outside of schoolwork. I'm gonna say that one more time. They spend 7 hours a day on their phones outside of schoolwork. If we only have 24 hours in a day, and we're only awake for about 16 hours, that means that almost half of a teen's time awake is spent in front of a screen. Scary. Now, the thing that makes this so difficult is that as a society, we're pretty much expected to have a phone. Schools, businesses, doctors, and especially family and friends all expect us to be reachable, to manage our information and data, and to use our phones as consumers. To function in society, we are told that we have to be connected. While this is true across all demographics, it's especially prevalent among young adults and teenagers. There is enormous pressure on them to follow the trends and to stay connected to be socially accepted. In large, this is exactly what they are doing, and they're worried about it. In a study done by the Pew Research Center in 2018, 54% of teens aged 13 to 17 said that they were concerned about the amount of time that they were spending online and on their phones. Now, because technology is so new, it's difficult to pinpoint the effects that excessive use will have on the brain long term. But some studies are already showing results. The Center for Treatment of Anxiety and Mood Disorders has compiled some results for us. Children who spend more than 2 hours in front of screens scored significantly lower on language and thinking tests. Other studies link screen time to inactivity and higher obesity rates, and studies also show that higher screen time is linked to anxiety, depression, and loneliness. Quoting them, more than half of teens reported that their parents were often or sometimes distracted by their own phones while they were in conversation with their child. Phones are even getting in the way of connecting with the people right in front of us. Another study from the psychology departments of Florida State and San Diego State University showed a strong link between excessive screen time and anxiety, depression, self-harm, and even suicide in young adults. We use our phones too much, and it's hurting us. But that is something that we can change. The solution is simple. Spend less time on your phone. Unfortunately, phones are rather addictive, and that is easier said than done. But the good news is that people are starting to recognize this problem and take steps to solve it. And I want to share some of those simple steps with you. Now, did you know that there are apps that will reward you for time not spent on your phone? Yeah, you heard that right. I use an app called Pocket Points. The more time that I spend without using my phone, the more my points build up. I can then cash in my points for awesome discounts at local restaurants and stores. For me, food's a pretty good motivator. Now, there are other apps that allow you to track your screen time and set daily time limits on the apps you choose. I limit my social media use this way, and it's actually really helped me. Preparing this speech has actually helped me a lot more to learn ways that I can do better with my phone time, and I can tell you that these things do work. Now, do you want to know the best part? These apps are completely free. The only thing you have to lose is wasted time. Not a bad deal, right? Now, these steps might be small, but they can make a big difference. As we use our phones less, we'll have more time to accomplish the things we need to do. That alone would bring my stress level down. Imagine having an extra hour or 2 or 3 in your day. What could you do with that time? Making adjustments to our technological habits can be small or large, and that's up to you. But you can start right now. There is a world of possibilities and personal connections that await us as we put our phones away and focus on the people and the tasks around us. So how do you feel? Did you make it through the last 7 minutes or so without touching your phone? If you did, you're already on your way to improving your quality of life. Let's recap. Phones are a great tool, but they can be a punishing master if we don't manage our time effectively. Too much screen time leads to anxiety and depression, as well as a lot of wasted time. We all have things that are important to us, and as we make the effort to put our phones aside, we'll have so much more time to do what we love with the people that we love. And today, I would challenge all of you to build upon what we talked about today, to make a step towards controlling your screen time. Go download an app and continue to become aware of your own personal habits. In a world full of distractions, you can take action. Thank you.